Is Today is what? Today's Thursday, October 17th, and I'm going to host this revenue management discussion. Currently it's just me. It's probably because I've actually postponed the meeting to today from yesterday, so that's part of it. But anyways, I'll have the appear window open just in case somebody shows up, and I'd like to begin. Okay, so the first order of business is actually this. What we're looking to do is create a forecast. So let me actually begin with the revenue management paper. That would be the most logical place to actually begin, and we'll go from there. Okay. Let's see. We don't have the revenue management paper open, so let me open it here. Okay, here's the Revenue Management Guild. Okay, and close the other things. This is going to take the pain. It's probably time for me to actually get that thing done. Okay, so here's what we have. We have a revenue forecast that we're supposed to give. Gerard's new villa in Balangan. Now Gerard is a owner of the La Jolla View complex, and he's building essentially a 3 and 4 bedroom pool villa next to La Yanandra. Okay, so Yanandra. Okay, all right. So that's what's in it for the discussion. And what we're going to do is this. We're going to actually start a forecast roadmap. So a forecast roadmap begins by looking at today's date. Today is October 17th. So this will be a Balangan villa by Gerard. And this is a 3 and 4 bedroom villa. Okay, so then we have to go with our forecast model, which is essentially we're going to need to pick some sort of forecasting model for this type of property. So I'm just going to go with let's call this October forecast model number 1. Okay. Okay, and so the point of this is actually after 3 months, we're going to measure how accurate this forecast model is. But in the case of Gerard's villa, his villa won't even be finished until July next year. So I guess the best time to measure that would be probably October of 2020, right? So that would give us a little bit of headway onto that. All right, let's open the model and tell what we want to do. So here's the conditions. Let's take a look at the inputs, outputs. Okay, so the inputs are, we know it's 3. Okay, the objective is to create a yearly revenue forecast for 2 villas in the Balangan area. Alright, and so results will be a accurate 12-month forecast for said villa. Okay, alright, so method. Okay, let's take a look at the method we're going to use. I say the method we can use is a comparable property, and then use seasonality. Okay, so the method actually has to have a few parameters, right? So I guess we're going to need to figure out what's the seasonality model. All right, so we're going to need to know how the revenue kind of fluctuates from season to season, month to month. And then we need to figure out what's the pricing model and what's the occupancy model. Okay, so essentially 3 different things that we're looking at. The first is we're going to try to determine the seasonality, which is going to be okay, I guess, based on Balangan. We do have a few years worth of data on that based on properties that we control. So we can use this actually. We can use the Balangan seasonal model, and I'll go into more discussion about what that actually means. Balangan seasonal model, and we can use it because we we have full control properties that are nearby. Okay. Let's see. Let me just make that a little bit bigger. Make that a little bit bigger. Make that also a little bit bigger. Okay. So we have full control as that we're nearby. So we have pricing, control. We have pretty much full occupancy control, right? Okay. So the Balangan seasonal model is there. Okay, let's see. What else are we looking at? Take a minute to think. Okay. All right. So we do have that information. Let's go over here. Let's get rid of all this crap that we don't need. So every time I don't get too confused with all these open tabs. Okay. So we have our seasonality model. I think that would be a pretty good model fit. There is currently one property. There's currently one property that we have that's in the okay, let's just use that. But I think we can also probably, as a backup, have a backup model. Try the Bingen seasonal model. Now, why do I use the Bingen seasonal model? Because it is a comparable region close to the beach. Good for surf. But the incomparables are the restaurants and shopping. Quite different in Bingen than Balangan. Okay, but let's use 2 points of data. Okay, the pricing model. So pricing model will probably use the mirror property. Okay, so then we gotta decide what are actual mirror properties. Maybe we take a look. You can take a look on Airbnb for general base rates on the villas in Balangan. Okay, and then from that we'll do a rate analysis to determine if the value is seen as good. And then the second thing is we can probably take a comparable villa that's beach close, no ocean view, and that will probably be something that will be a comparable relevant villa. Okay, on the occupancy model, occupancy is really tough because I guess we can also use the Balangan seasonal model. That will be pretty interesting, and maybe we can also use the Bingen model. Okay. All right, so that gives us kind of like a method now, and then now comes the work. All right, so we're gonna have to dive in, and let's go and see what the Balangan seasonal model looks like. Okay, so this is this thing here, and we're going to start getting the graphics and visualizations so that we can see what that looks like. Alright, so we're using these new stats, which I'm not a fan of because they are very difficult to control, but whatever the fuck. Alright, so I'm gonna have to open old BV stats. So the current stats are a little bit inconclusive because I can't go back further in time to see what the model is, and I certainly cannot also remove or include different types of properties. But maybe what I can do is this. Let me go with a seasonal model based on Balangan, based on Idaman. Okay. So on Idaman, I want to go back the last, let's go back 18 months, yeah? Okay, let's go back even further than that. Let's go back maybe 24 months. Okay. Alright, that gives me a monthly revenue model for the last 24 months on Idaman. And then let's go to Megalan. Okay, and that's the furthest I get on Megalan. And before I forget about those two models here, I want to put those in. So these are the two most comparable villas I have. And I've already forgotten which was which. So let's go back and take a look real quick. That's my old BB stats now. So this one's showing 1,300. This is Megalan. 1,300 for September. That's Megalan. Okay, so that's that. That's Megalan. And this is then, of course, Idaman. Okay, I've opened up my old stats, so from the old stats I can see what's going on in each area. And let's go ahead and take a look in the same time span, 18 months ago. Okay, so that's 18 months, but once again, the Balangan area is a little bit polluted because of contamination. Most of the contamination is coming from not being able to have direct control on the pricing at La Jolla. So that leads to some irregularities here. Like for example, in September there's higher than other months. Some August. So that's not absolutely true because it's just in August we don't get as much availability. But since we are looking at a property that will be fully available, this seasonal graph is not that great. So I'm probably going to have to use the Bingen seasonal graph over here as a backup, and I'm going to lend a lot more credibility to the Bingen seasonal graph. Okay, so that's there. Okay, so this is the Bingen seasonal graph, and Bingen seasonal graph. Okay, and this is the Balangan seasonal graph. Okay, so let me see, just heads up, let's see if they're relatively similar. I mean, the anomaly here in Balangan is that August is lower than September, but that's to be expected since we have less availability. The step down for September to October is, let's see, the step down for 65 divided by, let's see, let's take a look at Bingen first. Bingen, the stepping down from October, from September is 62 divided by 75. I'm just going to forget the southern, so that's an 82%, 18% drop, 82% of what it is. Let's take a look at Balangan. Balangan is 29 over 38, so that's 24%. So I mean, not exactly the same, but okay, both drops. One is 18, one is 24. Okay, then let's take a look at the next subsequent month from October to November. In Bingen, October to November drops quite significantly, so it goes from 39 from 62, so that's about 38% drop. And then let's take a look here in Balangan, and that's 21 over 29. So that's about 28% drop. So Bingen drops quite a bit more significantly than Balangan. But once again, it could be that whole La Jolla thing messing up the values. And once again, in December it climbs up, in January climbs up again. I really can't make heads or tails out of this graph, to be honest, because Balangan is just too messy. Too many messy inputs. Lakaban, Alchemist, La Jolla, they're all messy inputs because we don't have full availability control. So you know what? I'm going to just delete this. I'm going to decide not to actually, or I'm going to modify this. This is a, let's call this a restricted model on just full control properties, okay? All right, so if we just look at that, we can sort of dismiss the rest of the information. We might have to do some math here, which sucks, but math is okay. Let's call the month Villa M for Megalan, Villa I for Idaman, and what is the total. Okay, so what I'm doing now is a bit of legwork, but I'm making a graph of 2. So this is my only 2 real inputs that are really reliable now are really Megalon and Eudemon. Then what I need to do is I need to essentially extract the data for both these 2. And oh man, okay, all right. So I'm not looking forward to this. All right, so 0397 1032. Okay, I wish there was a faster way to do this. Maybe there is. All right, there is a faster way to do this. I'm going to try this as a hack. I'm going to split the window so I can read the data on one side and copy it over to the other side. I know that there's probably a smarter person out there somewhere that can do this way faster than this, but you know, I just don't know what that is yet, so I'm just going to have to use this method for the time being. All right, so here's how I'm going to do it. All right, so I start in January, and that's January 2019. That's 0. Then go to 397, 1032, 1005, 298. Okay. May was 2004, June 1180, July 3024, August 2898, September 1323. Okay, I'm wrapping around back to October last year, 830, 630, and then 0. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around, since this is data from previous years. Okay. So then that's set. Okay, that's set. And then, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this on the other side too. And okay, I'm not even sure if I did the right villa. Okay, yeah, that's right. That's Eudemon. So we're going to start in January. This is 3,233. This is 737. I can't even read that. No, January is 3. January is 737. February is 1,027. 3,533. 2,784. 249. 3,923. 4,222. 4,287. 3,886. Now this is where I wrap around to not last year. When I wrap around to last year, I get 0? I guess October was 0. Oh, crap. Okay, did this wrong. Let's remove that. I need to start that there. Okay, October of last year. Jeez, I can't even say October was 0? Alright, for whatever reason, it's 0. And then it's 2,080. And then it's 3,223. Okay, alright. So, sheets. Let me just create a sheet here somewhere so I can sum these two values together. Okay, what I'm gonna do to sort of even out the fold here is I'm gonna even out the fold by making this happen. I'm gonna create a new sheet here. All right, my favorite part. Okay, so waiting for it to load. Okay, all right, here we go. So let me put all these data points in. No, that's exactly what I didn't. Oh, come on, don't make me type it all in. Ah, thank God. Okay. All right. So this is Villa I. This is no. That's Villa M. I forgot actually. Which one was which? Revenue projection. Projection. Okay. All right. So then I just do a sum. That's equal to this plus this. And you know what? I'm going to divide it by 2 just to kind of give me a little bit of, what do you call, a little bit of variance, right? So I kind of average out all the errors too. And then I have this table of values. And then I'm going to insert another column here. And I need to put these months in. I don't know if Google Sheets will actually recognize that as being an actual month, but we'll see. Okay.
Wow, you got your S screen.
So then what I want is, let me see if I can get a visualization from this. I'm going to insert a table, a chart. And there we have it. Okay. So I don't really want to see anything besides actually the sum. So I wonder if I hide these two. I can't delete them because if I delete them, I won't get the value I'm looking for. I'm really just looking for the orange graph, right? All right. You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all because it is going to be. It is going to be a farce. No, it's going to be awesome. Okay, great. So here I have a forecast now. Actually, I can delete one of these windows because I opened up 2 just to do the data entry. So now the data entry is finished. And I have my thing all nice and set up, right? October, November, December, so on and so forth. All right, so let's take a look at that. Okay. So what I have here is essentially I have a season. I need to. Oh wait, I need to do this. What I need to do is I need to go back to the spreadsheet. I need a ratio. I need a ratio table of everything.
No problem.
This is annoying. I guess I'm assuming October travel and December travel, yeah? You know what? Okay, this is my problem now. So, you see these 3 zeros? There's a 0 here, 0 here, there's a 0 here. These pieces of data are 0 because the owner was using the villa during those times. So, what I need now is I need a projection showing full control of the villa without owner usage. But I have owner usage. So then I need to be able to figure out what this would have been had there not been the owner using it, right? And that part is difficult because, just because, right? It's how do you know? So I'm sort of confronting a dilemma here. All right. All right. I'm just gonna have to wing it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say this. This is my lowest ratio, and I want everything to be a ratio of that. Let me see if that works. No. Wait, it's maybe these numbers are not showing decimal places, so. Oh, come on, give me a decimal, give me a decimal. No, that can't be right. All right. I need the number to be percent? No. All right, what's unexpected here is that these numbers should be actually more different. Come on, why won't you give me a real number? That makes no sense. Okay. Oh, that makes more sense. Okay, all right. So same to let that work. I'm going to use January as my base rate, right? So I'm going to divide January by January. I'm going to get 1. And then what I want to get is I'm going to get... Oh, it's not working. Not D2 divided by D2, silly. I don't know how to do this, actually. Divide over a constant. Oh god, let's just do it the long way. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm basically dividing everything by everything. Oh, no, I'm dividing everything by the lowest January rate. How do you divide all column over a constant variable? Okay, well, let's see what it says. Wait, let me try that. Okay, now that I have that, let me go try this again. I think I understood what that just said. Okay, ratio. How about equals this divided by this, yeah? No. Doesn't get smart, no? All right, so anyhow, let's see. Wow, okay. The problem here is that the January income is just so low. It doesn't make any sense even. It's so much different from all the other variables. Megalon is also being used twice. Alright, it is what it is. Okay, alright, so I have the ratios now. Alright, so let's say I have the ratio table now. Ratios against lowest revenue month. Okay, so these are all the ratios of every property against every thing on the lowest revenue month, right? So then the next thing I have to do is I have to figure out what the pricing is. Now I can move over. Okay. Let's look for the mirror property now. Now, This is going to start with a search here. Let's try to understand what the mirror properties could be. So let's go over here. I'm going to Balaam Beach, and I want to look actually January 2020, right? So I'll pick just some random dates in January. And I'm looking for capacity for up to 6 guests. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, interesting. All right. Well, I guess the good news is there's not too much available. Okay, here's one. This is Villa Blue Lagoon. It's at 357. Let's go ahead and open that. Here's this other villa. Oh, that's our villa, Megalan. There's another one of our villas. And then there's this villa that's also a 3-bedroom. It's a little bit further away from the beach. And here's another one that's 3 bedrooms. That's at 272. And here's another villa at 272. Here's another villa at 490. Okay, so let's go and take a look and make sure we have a comparable property. So this is property number 1. The value is stunningly good, surprisingly. Okay, so this one is good. And let's take a look at its occupancy, see how it's doing. It's completely empty in January. Okay, so those are 3 pieces of information we can put in. And this is on our first forecast. So, okay, let's go ahead and upload that. Okay, so that's on the first row. Thank you very much. Okay, we can then close this one. Let's take a look at the next one, Villa Blue Lagoon. Well, this one is at 357. Okay. Probably the most competitive property to this one, and it's looking pretty good also. The value is high, it's at 4.6. Okay. And the occupancy is also fairly low. Alright, so that's another data point that we can put in there. Onto our mirror property search. Okay. Okay, Blue Lagoon can go. Let's take a look at the next one. Now we're only going to figure out what the we're going to only figure out what the mirror property is for January because we can't do this across the entire year. That would just take up way too much time. But it seems that for the correct amenities, those are fairly competitive prices. Okay, this is Bali Ohana. Location's at 3.2. Value is pretty low at 4.2. Okay, so this one's smaller villa. It looks nice, but I don't know, for some reason people don't like it as much. Oh no, I've accidentally opened a screenshot that I don't want. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the value. The value points are debatable. Accuracy is debatable. Occupancy looks like also pretty low. Okay. Okay. So I'm building up my mirror property analysis. My last one. Alright, this is the last one. From the card. Not a lot of reviews at this price, not a lot of activity. 272 does seem very out of control. Oh, wow, okay. Alright, I should just actually, there's a faster way. I just need 2 screenshots now instead of 3. You can see the February, shit. Oh no, uh-oh. Going to run out of juice soon. And at 8%. Okay. Okay, I'm getting a little bit more efficient. but I'm also getting a little less power. Okay. Okay. Okay, so there's a mirror property, and then, shit, I need to unpower it. Alright, I'm gonna go find power. Okay, found power. Need to move. But I don't think I'm gonna reach. Should see this right now. It's kind of funny. I'm at a hotel. Looks like I'm probably crazy. Talk to myself. All right. Anyway. Okay. All right. I'm charging again now, so that's good. Okay. So here's what we have essentially. We have 4 mirror properties in the area that are all. We can see what their occupancy rates are. Now, then the next thing we have to determine is essentially. Oh, here's another one. Okay. Oh, this is. Oh, I know this one. This is ohm. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look back at where we are here. Here's Villa Ohm. I don't think this is a mirror property at all. It's in a completely different location. And strangely enough, it seems like this property is not getting booked very often now. It seems like it's on the last legs of whatever they're doing there. So that doesn't look very good. Let's take a look at this one. This is Matt. This is also inside of a resort, so it's probably not a very comparable property. Let's see, what else could be a comparable property? No. Oh yeah, this one, La Jolla. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay. This could be something that's similar. Also hosts 6 guests. Let's take a look at this one. This is one we have. It's hardly been rented out ever, because it's almost never available. Okay. Alright, let's just take a quick screenshot of that. Take a quick screenshot over here. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's our market research, yeah. Those are essentially our mirror properties, and those are the ones we're going to compare against. So then the next step is we just see, which one it closely resembles. Now, the real answer could be it resembles none of them. Then it might be something that's different, but at least get some price point sort of options here. Let's call this option. Let's call this A. B, C, D, and then E. Okay? Okay. And then in order to determine mirror property, you just say, you just do this. Intersections. Well, first is the property. And you say intersections. And then differences. Okay, so then you plot this in, A, B, C, D. D, and E. Okay? Alright. So intersections are things that, whatever they have in common, um, those will be more useful. Okay, so for example, this one is 490. We're, I wish I actually didn't close that now, but let's say all I know is, okay, bedroom size is probably the intersection, right? Um, intersections between our property is at same size, 4 bedrooms. And the difference is location. This is on the golf course. So it's actually, I would say it's slightly worse. Slightly worse access to the beach and facility and food and restaurants. Okay. Let's look at the next one. The next one has a lot of similarities. In fact, this will probably be most likely the most similar property. All right, the size is the same. The design is probably going to be the same. So same with the first one, probably the same design. We're talking about flat roof and modern. Okay, so the second mirror property shares the same design, and the location is the same too. Okay, all right. On to the third property. The third property, I don't know. I mean, it looks big, but something tells me it's not quite right because the accuracy reports are pretty bad. The accuracy reports here looks good in the photos, but it's just people give it a really low accuracy score. So I'd like to say that it is the same size as the 3-bedroom one. I'd like to say that it's the same design, but there is a sort of a missing authenticity factor, and that's probably why it's selling for, I don't know, 122 versus 390. Okay, let's go to the next one. God, they're all the same. It's actually pretty strange. In this particular, every villa is using the same design. Okay, in this particular one, we're talking about also same design. So ironically, Gerard would actually be better off not designing the same way as all his neighbors because the current design is fairly commodity. Um, this one's also missing an authenticity factor, but it's priced pretty high. Occupancy is better than either of the other two. Okay, let's see. Okay, alright, so probably also missing some authenticity factor. Location's pretty much the same. Okay, and then the last one. Last one is actually smaller size. It's very different design. Oh wait, very different design goes here. And location is the same, pretty much. But also has an ocean view. Now, see, this one probably has an ocean view too. And I'm hoping Gerard will have an ocean view as well. So, unique selling point on B is also the same, ocean view. Okay, probably no ocean view. And this one definitely does not look like it has that. No ocean view. And this one probably doesn't have an ocean view either. Actually, that's the biggest difference is ocean view. Things with ocean view, this one also, yeah, they both have an ocean view. Okay, so we can kind of see what it is that generally groups the pricings together. So let's see. Now we just have to figure out this. We have to figure out what property essentially is the most different and the most mirror-like. Okay, so this one's being priced at, let's see, pricing. This one's priced at $490. Next one's priced at $357. Next one's priced at around $122. Next one's priced at $272. Next one's priced at $479. Okay, so wow, I'm holding my concentration for an hour here. This is really tough. Okay, so we have a bunch of these. Let's sort these into what I think will be the least relevant. This is probably the least relevant on C, so I'll shift it all the way to the bottom. This is probably also least relevant. I'll shift it to the bottom. Okay, so we're probably looking at something on here, right? This one's also less relevant. The most relevant is B. I think, yeah, definitely most relevant is B at 357. And then E is something that's a little bit less relevant than A because of the design. Okay, so those are essentially your pricing metrics. Okay, good. So we got that now. We got the second part of our thing done. I know we said no ocean view, but maybe it's a possible ocean view, yeah? And I think later when we talk to Gerard. Oh, I need the power, yeah?
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. Thank you. Yeah, recording a class right now. So. Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, thanks. Okay. Oh, this gentleman's really nice. He got me a seat. It's okay. Yeah, I'll do my best. Yeah, but thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, so then what do we have? We have all our comparables, and then we just need to look at what the occupancy model looks like now in Balangan and Bingin, right? So looking at, let's say, Balangan. Well, once again, Balangan is really tough because we don't have full control, once again. So we'll just have to make do with what we can see. Okay, looks like, all right, actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. We can look at Idaman. Okay, Idaman's model is like this. And let's look at Megalan. Megalan's model is slightly less. I'd like to pin it to another one. Let's go with Bing and Luna. Wow, this thing is crazy. Okay. All right. Let's give 3 essential occupancy models here. So we have a pricing model here. It's been prioritized to similarity. Okay. And then we're going to have an occupancy model here. Now the occupancy model is good. These are on villas that we fully control. Okay. All right, so Okay, anyhow, looks like Nunkley doubled up on my work, but okay, I'm not sure. All right. Anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this finished then. So, let's see. Normally, all right. We're looking essentially now at a few potential occupancies and also at a few potential rates. We just gotta do this right now. So, here's where it all collapses together. So we're gonna need to create the January. Um, okay, this is where everything kind of snaps to. We're going to create a January model. Whew. Okay, we have an occupancy model. Then we just have this. So bring the table back, and we don't need any other stuff anymore. We just need these ratios now, right? All right, last step. Okay, so anyways, after that very distracting conversation, let me go back to where we were originally. Um, okay, so the main problem here is actually January is a little bit too low. So as a base rate, it's going to sort of mess up everything else. I'm going to need to actually go back up to January and adjust it a bit for the rest of the projection. So let me see where I'm at. Okay. January isn't one. Then let's see. Okay, so what we're gonna try to do now is take that 357. I'm gonna take that 357, multiply it against. Let's see. Take that. It's interesting, yeah, because it looks like Wiedemann is actually going to get very low occupancy in January. So maybe that's correct, actually. Let's see. What about the one over here? This is Megalon, and also it got super low occupancy in January. Maybe that's actually pretty correct, but okay, this one did not get low occupancy in January. This one got fairly good 50% occupancy in January. These are slightly different. I would actually take out the Bingen model then. Let me see then. Okay, all right. So if we're predicting January is going to be fairly low, let's say at best at like a what was it, like a 7% occupancy. So '07 times 30. So 2 nights in January. Okay, so 2 times 357. That gives us a revenue about 714 for January. Okay. And then okay, so then that's settled here. Okay, here's where the magic happens. Alright, so those seem to be our figures. And now I can go back in here. Okay, so there we have it. We essentially now have the seasonality and the entire rigmarole done. And that over the course of a year should look like 46,000. Okay, alright, looks pretty good. That is within reason. So then we'll say